every spring, American homeowners spend hundreds of dollars replanting the same gaps, the same bare edges, the same thin patches, the same empty corners that never quite fill in. Most gardeners in their 50s and 60s have quietly accepted that a full garden requires constant replanting. That belief is costing money and effort every single season. There are 11 perennials planted once in May that spread, fill, and return on their own for decades. No replanting, no gaps. One of these is so effective at filling dry shade that professional landscapers use it specifically for problem areas nothing else will touch. That plant is coming later in this video. Welcome to Natural Verge, where ancient plant wisdom meets practical modern living. Today, we are breaking down 11 fast-spreading perennials to plant in May for a garden that fills itself every year. Stay through this video. One plant coming in the second half will surprise you with what it does in the deepest shade. Subscribe. New plant knowledge every week. Most American gardeners make one consistent mistake with perennials they plant too late. By June, soil temperatures are already pushing past the ideal establishment window, and new plants spend energy surviving heat rather than spreading roots. May is different. Soil in USDA zones 5 through 8, covering the Northeast, Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and Pacific Northwest, reaches the 55 to 65 degree range that triggers active rhizome and runner extension in most spreading perennials. The South and Gulf Coast move faster. Zone 9 gardeners should plant in early May before heat peaks. Every plant on this list was chosen because May planting gives it the maximum possible establishment time before winter, meaning by next spring, your garden is already filling rather than just starting. That difference, one season of correct timing, is what separates a garden that fills itself from one that stays thin year after year. Most Americans who plant thyme think of it as a kitchen herb, something that grows in a container near the back door and gets clipped for cooking. That single assumption means most American gardens are missing one of the most practical and beautiful spreading ground covers available. Creeping thyme, Thymus serpulum, is a completely different plant with a completely different purpose. It spreads by surface runners, hugging the ground and forming a dense, flowering mat that smothers weeds completely. In USDA zones 4 through 9, that covers nearly every gardening region from the upper Midwest through the South and into the Pacific Northwest, creeping thyme establishes quickly in full sun and poor soil. A single plant purchased for $3 to $5 will cover 3 to 4 square feet within one full season. Replace a 10-foot path edge with creeping thyme and you are looking at $20 of plants doing the work of annual mulch that costs $60 to $80 every spring. For variety selection, 3 choices perform consistently across American gardens. Elfin is the most compact, forming a tight, low mat ideal for stepping stone gaps and reaching only 1 inch in height. Pink chintz delivers the strongest flower display sheets of soft pink bloom through June and July and handles full sun and drought in zones 5 through 9 with 0 supplemental watering once established. Magic carpet adds a 2-tone effect, red-pink flowers over dark green foliage, and is reliably cold hardy through zone 4, making it the correct choice for upper Midwest and northern New England gardeners. The one mistake most Americans make with creeping thyme is planting it in rich, amended soil. That is exactly wrong. Rich soil encourages soft, floppy growth that rots at the center and stops spreading outward. Plant creeping thyme in lean, gritty, well-drained soil and it becomes almost unstoppable. Yarrow is next, and it spreads in 2 directions at once, which changes how fast it fills your garden entirely. Most American gardeners who want to fill a shaded border reach for hostas, spending $15 to $25 per plant for something that disappears completely in winter. Bergenia does something hostas cannot. The leaves stay. Through frost, through February, through zone 5 temperatures, Bergenia holds its enormous, glossy, paddle-shaped leaves and turn them deep bronze red in the cold. Then, in early March, clusters of bright pink or white flowers rise on strong stems before almost any other perennial shows life. It spreads by clump expansion, slowly building outward and filling shaded borders over 3 to 4 seasons. In zones 3 through 9, covering the entire continental United States, Bergenia is one of the most reliable and underused perennials available. A single clump purchased for $8 to $12 fills a 2-foot spread within 2 seasons with 0 division needed for 5 years. Bressingham White and Winterglute perform most consistently across American climate zones. The mistake most gardeners make is planting Bergenia in full sun. It prefers partial to full shade and punishes sun exposure with scorched, damaged leaves. Yarrow comes next, too, and it spreads in 2 directions at once. Most gardeners treat yarrow as a wildflower, something that shows up on its own and gets tolerated at the garden edge. That framing misses the most useful thing about yarrow entirely. Yarrow is the only plant on this list that spreads in 2 directions simultaneously underground by rhizome and outward by prolific self-seeding. That combination means yarrow fills garden space faster than almost any other perennial and fills it permanently. Feathery, aromatic foliage forms a dense, weed-suppressing base even before flowers appear. Flat-topped flower clusters in white, yellow, pink, red, and terracotta rise above in summer, covering a range of color that makes yarrow one of the most versatile border perennials available. In zones 3 through 9, yarrow grows across every American climate region from the coldest reaches of Minnesota through the heat of the Gulf Coast. A single plant costing $4 to $6 can fill a 3-foot spread within 1 season. Through rhizome extension alone, and self-seeded plants arriving nearby cost nothing at all. At Whole Foods, dried yarrow bundles sell for $12 to $18, the same plant filling your border and your toe, vase at 0 ongoing cost. American Gardens, 3 yarrow varieties deliver the strongest combination of color, spread speed, and climate reliability. Moonshine is the gold standard for yellow soft, lemon yellow flat heads above. Silver gray foliage zone, 3 hardy and extremely drought tolerant once established, making it the right choice for Midwest and Great Plains gardeners. Paprika delivers the most striking color effect, deep red, orange flowers. That. Fade to a warm brick as the season progresses, performing well through zones 3 to 8. Saucy Seduction offers the deepest pink available in the species and holds color, longer than most varieties through the heat of a mid-Atlantic or southern summer. The one mistake most Americans make with yarrow is deadheading too aggressively. Removing every spent flower head stops the self-seeding that makes yarrow a true self-filling plant. Leave the last flush of flowers to set seed in late summer. The seedlings that arrive next spring cost nothing and fill every gap the rhizomes did not reach. Goldenrod is next, and it carries a reputation in America that has nothing to do with what it actually does. Goldenrod has been wrongly blamed for hay fever across America for decades, keeping one of the most valuable spreading perennials out of American gardens. The real culprit is ragweed, which flowers simultaneously but releases pollen into the air. Goldenrod is insect-pollinated, completely harmless to hay fever sufferers. What goldenrod actually does in a garden is remarkable. It spreads by underground, rhizome-building, dense colonies of upright stems topped with arching plumes of bright golden yellow arriving in late summer when most other perennials have finished. In zones 3 through 9, Goldenrod fills sunny borders across every American region. A 3-pack of bare root Goldenrod costs $8 to $15 and fills a 4-foot colony within 2 seasons. Fireworks is the most reliable named variety arching plumes with a slightly contained spread. Little Lemon is the compact option, ideal for smaller gardens or front borders where height control matters. The one mistake most gardeners make is planting goldenrod near other aggressive spreaders. Without a root barrier, give it dedicated space, and it rewards generously every season. Epimedium is next, and it, too, solves the one garden problem most Americans have quietly given up on entirely. Dry shade under a large tree is the one garden problem most American homeowners have genuinely given up on. Root-filled, moisture-depleted soil where hostas struggle and most ground covers fail entirely. Epimedium works where everything else has already been tried and abandoned. It spreads by slow but persistent underground rhizomes, building a dense, weed-excluding carpet of har-caped leaves that color bronze and red in autumn and hold through winter. In spring, delicate spurred flowers appear almost orchid-like above the foliage in white, pink, yellow, and violet, depending on variety. Reliably hardy through Zone 4, covering the Northeast, Midwest, and Upper Midwest, Epimedium performs across the most difficult American growing conditions available. One plant purchase for $10 to $15 fills a 2-foot spread, and once established, requires virtually zero maintenance for decades. Sulphureum delivers the most vigorous spread and is cold hardy to Zone 4. Lilify offers the deepest violet flowers. The one mistake is expecting fast results. Epimedium is slow in year 1, but completely permanent from year 2 forward. Sweet Woodruff follows, and it was ring something Epimedium does not. Fragrance you can actually smell from 10 feet away. 5 plants down, 6 more coming, and the second half of this list is where the most genuinely surprising performers arrive. If you are in your 50s or 60s and you have spent too many seasons replacing things that never survived, this channel was built specifically for where you are right now. Hit subscribe, it is free, and it always will be. Right now, drop your state in the comments. Your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you, and I will be calling out specific zones through every plant remaining on this list. The plant coming up later in this video, the one teased in the opening, is the slow-spreading ground cover that professional landscapers use specifically for large, difficult, dry shade areas that nothing else will reliably fill. It is genuinely different from anything else on this list, and it is worth staying for. Sweet Woodruff is next, a spreading perennial that does something none of the plants covered so far can do. It makes your garden smell. 5. Most Americans shopping for shade ground covers walk past Sweet Woodruff entirely. The label offers no drama, and the small pot gives no hint of what it becomes. That is a significant miss. Sweet Woodruff Gallium odoratum spreads by underground rhizome to create one of the most refined, fragrant, and weed-suppressing ground layers available for shaded gardens. The dried leaves carry a sweet coumarin fragrance, the same scent used traditionally to freshen rooms and linen, and the living plant releases it gently in warm, still air. In May, clusters of tiny white star flowers appear above feathery whorled foliage, one of the most delicate spring displays of any ground cover. In zones 4 through 8, Sweet Woodruff performs consistently across the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Pacific Northwest, and Upper Midwest. One flat of 6 to 8 plants at $20 to $35 will fill a 10 square foot area within 2 seasons. The one mistake most gardeners make is planting Sweet Woodruff in too dry or too exposed a position it needs shade and reasonable moisture. Give it those two conditions and it fills reliably for decades. Wild ginger is next the plant PR. Professional landscapers quietly rely on for their most difficult assignments. Earlier in this video, a plant was promised the one professional landscapers quietly use for the most difficult, large-scale, dry shade assignments where nothing else performs. This is that plant. Wild ginger Oseram europaeum is the slowest spreader on this list and simultaneously the most permanent, lowest maintenance ground cover available for deep shade. It forms a dense, low carpet of glossy kidney-shaped leaves of exceptional dark green quality foliage that looks deliberately designed rather than simply planted. It spreads by underground rhizomes slow in year 1, measurably covering ground by year 2, and essentially indestructible from year 3. In zones 4 through 7, covering the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and Pacific Northwest, wild ginger performs under conditions of deep shade and root competition that eliminate nearly every other option. A flat of 6 plants at $25 to $40 fills an 8 square foot area in 3 seasons and never needs attention again. The hidden spring flowers, small, brown, produced at soil level, are remarkable on close inspection. The one mistake is planting wild ginger in dry, exposed sun. It rains. Requires cool, moist shade to establish well. Lamb's ear follows silver, drought-tolerant, and striking in an entirely different direction. Most American gardeners think of silver plants as purely decorative contrast in a mixed border. That framing misses what lamb's ear actually does as a spreading functional ground cover. The leaves of Stachys byzantina are densely covered in white woolly hairs, creating a silver ground layer with extraordinary tactile appeal and exceptional drought tolerance. That silver surface reflects intense sunlight. Rather than absorbing it, lamb's ear stays cool and retains minimal moisture, performing in full sun and dry conditions that would stress most ground covers within a season. In zones 4 through 8, covering the Midwest, South, Mid-Atlantic, and Pacific Northwest, lamb's ear is one of the most climate-versatile spreading perennials on this list. It spreads by clump expansion and gentle self-seeding building outward from the original planting and filling sunny, dry spaces most spreading perennials cannot handle. A 3-plant starter group at $9 to $15 fills a 3-foot spread within 1 full season in full sun and lean soil. The dollar value is clear. Lamb's ear permanently replaces annual mulch on dry, sunny slopes and edges that otherwise need. Refreshing every spring at $40 to $60 per application. For variety selection, 2 lamb's ear choices consistently outperform in American gardens. Big ears, also known as Helene von Stein, produces leaves nearly twice the size of the standard. Species a dramatic silver statement that works as ground cover and bold architectural accent equally. It is also less inclined to flower heavily, keeping energy in the foliage and spread rather than going to seed. Silky fleece is the compact option, forming a tighter mat at 6 to 8 inches, ideal for path edges and front border positions in zones 4 through 8 across the Northeast and Midwest. The one mistake most Americans make with lamb's ear is overwatering or planting in heavy clay soil. Both cause crown rot at the center of established clumps. The plant opens up, browns in the middle, and stops spreading. Plant in well-drained, lean to average soil and water only to establish after that. Lamb's ear performs on rainfall alone through most American summers. Think of one person still replanting the same dry, sunny edges every spring. Send them this video right now. Pulmonaria is next, silver-spotted foliage that glows in shade unlike anything else on this list. Most American gardeners looking for shade perennials focus entirely on foliage color and then overlook Pulmonaria, which offers the most ornamentally distinctive foliage of any spreading perennial on this list. The leaves of Pulmonaria officinalis are heavily spotted with silver, not lightly flecked, but densely patterned, creating a foliage effect that genuinely glows in low light shade conditions. In early spring, Pulmonaria produces one of the most unusual flower displays available, pink flowers that change to blue as they age, a shift caused by changing acidity within the petals. Both colors appear simultaneously, creating a two-tone display arriving before most other shade perennials show any growth. Historically, the silver-spotted leaves were associated by the doctrine of signatures with lung tissue used in traditional herbal practice for respiratory conditions, and the common name lungwort reflects that connection directly. Pulmonaria spreads by clump expansion, building slowly but reliably into substantial ground-covering drifts. In zones 3 through 8, covering the Northeast, Midwest, Upper Midwest, and Pacific Northwest, it performs with minimal tar. One plant at $8 to $12 fills a substantial clump within 3 seasons. For American shade gardens, 3 Pulmonaria varieties deliver the strongest foliage impact and reliable spread. Sissinghurst White offers pure white flowers over heavily silver-spotted leaves, one of the cleanest shade combinations available, performing through zones 4 to 8 across the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and Pacific Northwest. Diana Clare carries the most heavily silvered leaves of any Pulmonaria, almost entirely silver, with only a narrow green edge and deep violet-blue spring flowers. Majest delivers the most extreme silver foliage effect, leaves appearing almost completely silver, a unique visual that contrasts powerfully against dark-bark trees in upper Midwest and northern garden settings, hardy to zone 3. The one mistake most Americans make with Pulmonaria is leaving foliage through summer heat without adequate moisture. Leaves scorch and the clump stalls. Cut back tired summer foliage to the base after flowering and maintain consistent moisture through dry spells. A flush of fresh, fully silvered new leaves arrives within weeks and holds through autumn. Lily of the Valley is next, the most vigorously spreading plant on this entire list. The one important caution every American gardener needs to hear before planting it. Most Americans who have heard of Lily of the Valley associate it with wedding bouquets, a flower so fragrant it commands premium prices at specialty florists. What most do not know is that the same plant is one of the most vigorously spreading rhizome perennials available, essentially unstoppable once established. Convallaria majalis spreads by underground rhizomes to form dense colonies of upright broad leaves topped with arching stems of the most fragrant white bell flowers produced by any garden plant identifiable from 20 feet in still air. One important note before planting. Lily of the Valley is toxic to people, pets, and livestock. If ingested, every part carries cardiac glycosides. Plant only where accidental ingestion by pets or children is not a realistic possibility, away from play areas and accessible ground-level positions in family gardens. Given appropriate placement, Lily of the Valley thrives in zones 3 through 8 across the Northeast, Midwest, Upper Midwest, Pacific Northwest, and Mid-Atlantic. A single packet of bare root pips at $5 to $10 produces a colony that expands permanently with no ongoing cost. The fragrance alone, the Tay kind that sells for $18 to $30 per stem at Whole Foods florist counters, fills your garden freely every May. For variety selection, 3 Lily of the Valley choices offer distinct advantages beyond the straight species. Albistriata delivers striking cream striped foliage alongside the standard white flowers, the variegated leaves. maintain decorative value through the entire growing season rather than simply disappearing into a green mass after flowering. Rosea produces soft pink bell flowers instead of white, a subtle but genuinely beautiful variation that remains as fragrant as the species and spreads with equal vigor through moist shade in zones 3 through 8. Hardwick Hall is the boldest foliage form, broad leaves, with cream margins providing the strongest visual impact of any lily of the valley variety in a shaded American border. The one mistake most American gardeners make with lily of the valley is planting it where they eventually want to control it. It does not respond to polite management. Once established, the rhizome network is difficult to remove without digging the entire area. Plant it deliberately in a defined zone, a contained shaded corner, a bank under large trees where permanent, vigorous spread is an advantage rather than a problem. Campanula is next and last, and it is arguably the most freely flowering ground cover on this entire list. Most Americans shopping for flowering ground covers choose plants that bloom for 3 or 4 weeks and then leave bare foliage for the rest of the season. Campanula, Poscharskyana, Serbian bellflower operates on a completely different schedule. It is one of the longest flowering ground covers in any temperate American garden, producing clear lavender blue star. Flowers from late May through August and often into September, 3 to 4 months of bloom rather than 3 to 4 weeks. It spreads by surface runners, rapidly filling walls, banks, rock gardens, and border edges in a cascade of color that requires almost no attention once established. Tolerates poor soil, drought, partial shade, and wall crevices, performing in positions most plants refuse. In zones 4 through 9, Campanula Poscharskyana covers virtually every American gardening region from the Northeast through the South and Pacific coast. A 3-plant starter group at $9 to $15 fills a 4-foot spread within 1 season and returns larger every year without division. Annual flowering ground covers delivering a similar effect cost $40 to $60 per season and require RIE. Planting every spring Campanula does it once permanently for decades. For variety selection, 3 Campanula Poscharskyana choices cover the full range of American garden needs. E. H. Frost is the white-flowered form, pure white star flowers over the same spreading runner. Habit offering a softer alternative where lavender blue competes with other color choices, performing with identical vigor through zones 4 to 9. Blue Waterfall delivers the deepest, most saturated blue in the species, an exceptional choice for cascading over stone walls and retaining structures in Mid-Atlantic and Pacific Northwest gardens. Stella is the most compact form, slightly shorter runners, and a denser mat ideal for front border positions in zones 4 through 8, where controlled spread in a smaller space is needed. The one mistake most Americans make with Campanula is cutting back too hard after the first flower flush. Shear lightly not to the ground, and new flowering runners extend within 2 weeks, adding 4 to 6 additional weeks of bloom. This single technique turns an already long flowering plant into one that blooms from May through the first autumn frost. Every plant on this list has now been covered. The final block ranks all 11B. Your establishment speed and tells you exactly where to start if this is your first season planting perennials that spread. 3 plants on this list are used specifically by professional American landscapers for large-scale, difficult area assignments, not because they are the most dramatic, but because they are the most reliable where failure is not an option. Epimedium is the first. Professional landscapers use it specifically for dry shade under large trees, and building overhangs the exact conditions where almost every other ground cover fails. Its slow establishment rate is manageable at scale because once the carpet forms, maintenance cost drops to near zero for decades. Wild ginger is the second. Used specifically for deep shade assignments in the Northeast, Midwest, and Pacific Northwest, where soil quality is poor and root competition from large trees eliminates every practical alternative. The permanence and zero maintenance quality of an established wild ginger carpet justifies its slower establishment timeline entirely. Campanula Poscharskyana is the third, used specifically for slope stabilization, retaining wall coverage, and large bank plantings across zones 4 through 9, where a fast establishing, freely flowering, drought-tolerant runner is needed to cover ground quickly. Tua, Ikely, and hold it indefinitely. If you are planning a difficult area, not a standard border, these three plants are where professional thinking starts. We are not ending here. You can choose every plant on this list correctly and still fail if you do not know these three things. Mistake 1: amending soil too generously before planting spreading perennials. It is the instinct of most American gardeners to improve soil before planting, adding compost, fertilizer, and amendments to give new plants the best possible start. For spreading perennials, this instinct often produces the opposite result. Rich, heavily amended soil encourages lush, soft, upright growth at the expense of lateral spread. Creeping thyme, lamb's ear, and campanula all spread more aggressively in lean, gritty, average soil than in amended beds. Mistake 2: overwatering in the establishment phase. New spreading perennials need adequate moisture to set initial roots, but consistent. Overwatering in heavier clay soil creates the waterlogged conditions that rot rhizomes before they extend. Water to establish, then reduce. Most spreading perennials on this list are drought adapted once past the first season and pushing too much. Water in the first few weeks costs more plants than any other single error American gardeners make with this plant. Category. The third mistake is the one most experienced gardeners are surprised by, and it is coming in the next 60 seconds. Mistake 3, and this surprises most experienced American gardener sees planting spreading perennials too close together in year 1. The logic seems sound. Closer spacing means faster coverage. The reality is the opposite. When spreading perennials are planted too closely, runner and rhizome competition begins immediately. Plants direct energy into competing with their neighbors rather than extending outward into open ground. The result is slower coverage, weaker plants, and a border that never achieves the dense, even carpet it was intended to produce. For most spreading perennials on this list, creeping thyme, campanula, yarrow, goldenrod, the correct initial spacing is 12 to 18 inches. This feels sparse in year 1. By year 2, those gaps are fully closed, and the spread is stronger than any closely planted version would have produced. Give them room to run, and they will. If you are watching this and not yet subscribed, here is what that actually means. YouTube will stop putting this content in your feed, not slow it down. Stop it. Natural Verge releases plant and natural living knowledge every week, built specifically for American gardeners with How want real results. Hit subscribe now. It is free and it always will be. You have never planted spreading perennials before. Start with creeping thyme and Campanula Poscharskyana. Both establish fast, tolerate average to poor soil, forgive inconsistent watering, and deliver visible spread within a single season, giving you proof of concept before you invest in slower or more demanding plants. If you have been gardening for years and want to solve a persistent problem area, build around Epimedium for dry shade, Goldenrod for sunny open ground, and wild ginger for deep shade under trees. These 3 plants address the 3 most consistently difficult American garden challenges and do it permanently. If your specific goal is a garden that fills itself the fastest in the shortest time after a May planting build around Yarrow, creeping thyme, and Campanula as your primary spreading trio. Yarrow fills by rhizome and seed simultaneously. Creeping thyme covers path edges and opens sunny ground within 1 season. Campanula fills banks, walls, and border edges with the longest continuous flower display of any plant on this list. That combination, starting from a May planting, produces the most visible transformation in the shortest time, for any 3-plant approach you can choose from this list. Every, like on this video, tells YouTube that this information is worth showing to other Americans who are still spending money every spring on plants that never fill their garden. If this video delivered value for you, hit like now. That one action costs nothing and directly helps this knowledge reach the people who need it most. Drop your state and which plant you are starting with in the comments right now. Your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for your specific conditions, and seeing where our viewers are planting helps every other viewer in the same region make a better decision. If you are in your 50s or 60s and you have spent too many seasons replacing the same gaps, this channel was built specifically for you. Hit subscribe, free, always will be. Think of one person in your life who is still spending money every season replacing plants that never spread, never fill, and never perform the way the nursery label promised. Do not send a message, just send the link to this video right now. That one action could save them years of unnecessary expense and frustration, and it costs nothing. Just received zone accurate, dollar grounded, research-based information on 11 spreading perennials covering establishment timing, USDA zone performance, variety selection, the mistakes that stop spread, and the 3 plants professional landscapers use for their most difficult assignments. That is what every Natural Verge video delivers. This channel exists for Americans who have spent enough seasons making expensive garden decisions they were never properly warned about. If that is you, and if you are in your 50s or 60s, subscribe to Natural Verge right now and turn on the bell notification. Every week, new plant knowledge, zone aware, experience-based, built for your actual garden and your actual life. The next Natural Verge video is already coming, and if the idea of a garden that fills itself costs less every year and requires less effort every season matters to you, you will not want to miss what is covered next. Subscribe now. The information is free. It always will be. This is Natural Verge, and this is exactly where practical plant knowledge belongs.